Cars within earshot. They're coming down the front straight. The green flag waves, and our first race is underway. Off to an early start, the 7 of John Nash takes an early lead heading down the front straight and into turn 1. Nash with a sizable lead over second place, the number 79 of Scott Fraser. They go into turn 1 for the first time. And as they qualified, it's Nash and Fraser running 1-2. Nash and Fraser already starting to break away from the rest of the pack, although there are some folks that are trying to challenge. And there goes the start of the Formula V race with the 82 of Heather Barron out in front. Meanwhile, Nash and company are coming down the backstretch. As the V's enter turn 1 for the first time. And that is Elliott Barron in car number 23. Be able to follow along on the big screen if you're in such an area. Some great shots up there. Our thanks to the video crew here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And look at Nash. Boy, does he have a good gap back to second place, the 79 of Fraser. .6 seconds separating first from second as they cross the start-finish line. Your front 5, the 7 of John Nash in the Lotus, in the Austin Healey Sprite, number 79, Scott Fraser. Carl George picks up a spot in his MGA, moves into third. He's in the number 107. 190, Doug Radix in that Mercedes-Benz 190 SL. And the Austin Mini Cooper of Roger Susi, number 155. Those are your front 5. In the Formula V's, it's Heather Barron showing the way in her Caldwell, followed by the 110 of Devin Boucher, 23 Elliott Barron, 113 Hunter Barron, and Chris Chilton, number 15, is rounding out the front 5 in the V's. Formula V's having a good battle there at the front. We've got a number of cars coming up to challenge some of the back markers in that first group that took off. And it won't be long before we start mixing things up a bit. We'll have the V's in there with the rest of the field. One more time, Nash completes another lap, working lap number 3. The gap now first to second, 5.7 seconds. No change in your front 5. The 7 of Nash, 79 Fraser, 107 George, 190 Radix, and 155 Susi. Charles Cates Jr. picking up a spot. He's in the Datsun 2000 Roadster, gets around the 47 of Richard Fraser. Charles Cates Jr. thinking, you know, my car's 46, he's 47, I should be in front of him. By golly, he made it happen. Heather Barron showing the way in that Caldwell, with the 110 of Devin Boucher now running second, 113 Hunter Barron back to third, 23 Elliott Barron, 15 Chris Chilton, as those drivers get around the 30 of Mark Frost in his Honda Civic. Nick Palgrave also picks up a spot in his Caldwell, passing the 21 of Ferenc Takala in the Triumph Spitfire. And we've got a spin, and oh no, that's not the way to make it happen. That was Heather Barron had a lazy spin there and was able to correct it, get right back on course, so no yellows or anything, but spun herself right out of the lead there. So she'll have some work to do to get back in that spot. Pass for position, it looked like the 23 of Elliott Barron picked up a spot on the back section of the racetrack. As your lead pack of Formula V's entering the final few corners before coming back down the front straight out of turn 14. And it was the 110 of Devin Boucher that got passed by Elliott Barron. 82 of Heather Barron playing a game of catch-up now as she finds herself back in fourth place in the Formula V field. Both Nick Palgrave, number 43, and the 14 of Jim Barron have moved up as they get around the 30 of Mark Frost. James Lynch also moving up in the Formula V field. As your overall leader, the number 7 of John Nash completes lap number 4, starting lap number 5. Fastest race lap of 1:53.1, and that's set by Nash. 77.2 miles an hour in his Lotus Super 7. For the Formula V's, the fastest lap belongs to Elliott Barron, a 1:56.9. And we have a new leader in the Formula V's. The 110 of Devin Boucher picks up a couple spots on that last lap. Elliott Barron goes from first in the V's back to third as both the 110 of Boucher and the 113 of Hunter Barron get around him. So we've got a pair of Kellisons up front in the Formula V field with the Pegasus of Elliott Barron running third. Race Group 2A to pre-grid, please. We need Race Group 2A to pre-grid. Five laps complete, working lap 6 for your leader, John Nash, number 7. Who resets that fastest lap, now a 1:52.6. Still have that three-car train of Formula Vs running around. The 110 of Devin Boucher, the 113 of Hunter Barron, and the 23 of Elliott Barron. Just coming out of turn 14 and onto the front straight. And making a bid for the lead, there goes the 110 of Devin Boucher, picks it up. Hunter Barron in the 113 is second in the Vs, followed by the 23 of Elliott Barron as they get around the 71 of Travis Smith in the Triumph Spitfire. We've got the Formula V field now starting to mix it up with your front runners as they are now running 8th, 9th, and 10th overall in this 21-car field. SVRA proud to be back at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for yet another edition of the Brickyard Vintage Racing Invitational. Scott Fraser having a lonely drive on a Saturday morning in that Austin Healey Sprite number 79. He's about 15 seconds back of the leader, and he has probably a little bit more of a gap back to third place. Running third in race group 1 overall, third overall, the 190 of Doug Radix. Again, this is groups 1, 3, and 4 on course. Each race having its, each group, I should say, having its own race winner. .113, Hunter Barron retakes the lead in the Formula Vs. He's now up to 7th overall in the Kellison Mach 1. Devin Boucher, number 110, back to second with the 23 of Elliott Barron trailing. '82 Heather Barron and 15 Chris Chilton also moving up on that last lap, getting around the 46 of Charles Cates Jr. and the 47 of Richard Fisher. Formula V's now running 7th, 8th, and 9th. And that is overall their first, second, and third in class. Once again, race group 2A to pre-grid, please. Race group 2A to pre-grid. .155, Roger Susi just going by a start-finish in his Austin Mini Cooper. He is 4th overall and 3rd in race group 1. And again, we have those Formula Vs on the move. The 23 of Elliott Barron leading the group with the 110 of Devin Boucher and the 113 of Hunter Barron. First, second, and third in the Formula V field, and they are now 6th, 7th, and 8th overall. John Nash, number 7, your leader overall and in race group number 3. Race Group 1, your top 3, the 79 of Scott Fraser, the 190 of Doug Radix, and the 155 of Roger Susi. For Race Group 3, it's your overall leader, John Nash, out in front in car number 7. 46, Charles Cates Jr. runs second in Group 3. Everybody trying to keep a little heat in their tires. We'll set the field for you as we're under this yellow flag situation with the 7 of John Nash, your overall leader. 79 Scott Fraser runs second overall and first in Group 1. 190 Doug Radix, 155 Roger Susi are second and third in Group 1 and second and third overall. The 110 of Devin Boucher has retaken the lead in Formula V and is now shown in 5th with the 23 of Elliott Barron close behind. About 0.6 of a second back is all. The 7A of Todd Cruz is in 7th and completing the top 10, the 113 of Hunter Barron, the 82 of Heather Barron, and the 77 of Rick Fraser.
Two. Check.
Double yellows have been pulled at start-finish, so we are looking for a green flag this time around. And we've got it. We're back racing. Pedal to the metal for the 7 of Nash as he takes off to an early lead. Nearly 2 seconds just at the start is the gap between first and second. Once again, they're running in different race groups. So 79 Scott Fraser has to contend with the 190 of Doug Radix in the Mercedes-Benz 190 SL in second place in Group 1. 79 Scott Fraser, your Group 1 leader. And the checkered flag waves. 10 laps in that race, 10 laps in, cooling off now. John Nash, number 7, your overall leader and your race winner for race group number 3. Finishing first in race group number 1, the 79 of Scott Fraser, followed by the 190 of Doug Radix, and the 155 of Roger Susi, 7th overall, 3rd in race group number 1.